Call the regular meeting of the Downtown Development Authority Board. It is Tuesday, March 17th, 2026, and it is 6:29 p.m. Could we have a roll call and determination of quorum, please?
Chairperson Burgess,
Here?
Vice Chair Caruso,
Here.
Secretary Laurent,
Here.
Treasurer Shell,
Here.
Board Member Campbell,
Here.
Board Member Garris.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 3, approval of minutes. A, approval of DDA minutes, February 17th, 2026, page 3.
Motion to approve DDA board minutes of that date,
February 17th.
February 17th.
2020.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to item number 4, approval of agenda.
Motion to approve agenda.
Support.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
while the motion's pending, we did put at your place today a request to add 8C, which is a social district application.
Motion to approve agenda as amended.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to item number 5, consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are approved by one vote. A, financial reports, page 10.
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to item number 6, call to the public. The DDA welcomes comments related to the work and spirit of the DDA on non-agenda items. Each person wishing to address the DDA board shall be afforded an opportunity to do so. When recognized, please give your name and address and direct your comments to the chair. Comments on the agenda items may be allowed upon the calling of the item. Comments are limited to 3 minutes or is allowed by the board chair. Anyone like to speak this evening? No? Okay. Moving on to item number 7, financial matters. A, bill approval, page 21, and we are requesting roll call.
I move to approve disbursements in the amount of $27,974.07 for February 2026.
Support.
These numbers are off. There's three.
All right.
Can you read them right?
I don't know.
Hold up, please, 1 second. Do you have a,
27,974.07.
Yeah, that's fine. I just, my page numbering's off. That's why I'm not on.
Oh.
okay. Thank you for the pause. Go ahead now, please.
All right. Treasurer Shell,
Yes.
Board Member Garris,
Yes.
Secretary Laurent,
Yes.
Vice Chair Caruso,
Yes.
Board Member Campbell,
Yes.
and Chairperson Burgess.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 8, new and old business. A, public parking overview and recommendations, page 28. And I am requesting a roll call.
This is the one that needs each individual motion.
Lindsay, this is the one we want individualized, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, if I could present prior to, I'm going to present the whole thing, and then we can, at your discretion, go back and deal with those.
Okay.
Yeah.
So public parking has been in a lot of discussion lately at council level and elsewhere. We continue to meet the needs of parking in the community. Sorry? Pull this a little closer. Hey, there we go. Look at that. We continue to meet the needs of the community in parking. We have most of our significant parking starts when it gets warm. So eventually it'll get warm. Those that have businesses, Mr. Caruso's and Cookies and Cream and others, Motor City, you'll see that parking gets pretty full once we get in season. So the DDA has a long history of leasing parking lots and building parking lots. And tonight is an overview of a sampling of that, but it's the sampling of the things that are not an issue but need attention. So I'm going to walk through them real quick so you can all get an understanding of what we're doing. So the Slater Street lot, And Mr. Garris, welcome, welcome, welcome to the board. We should have stood up and applauded when you were part of the roll call. Thank you to that. So Mr. Garris, for your benefit, you'll get used to the vernacular of when we say Slater Street. This is the parking lot behind the Methodist Church off of Slater Street. So where the fire station is, there's a sidewalk that goes through, and there's a gravel parking lot that's in the back there off of Slater Street. So the Slater Street lot, I'd point out, Madam Chair, that the overall investment that the DDA made into the downtown is in all of these parking areas, and I wanted to make a record of that. That's why it's in the memorandum. For this one, the DDA acquired the old homes with the cooperation of the former village manager, unanimous approval of council and the Methodist Church. We purchased those homes. We tore those homes down. We did all the environmental work. Some of you on the board will remember when this happened. We invested as a DDA a little over $400,000 of DDA prosperity funds that we get from how we operate back into the village. So where are we at right now? The gravel that was put in amongst the curbing, proper curbing and guttering, and the sidewalk that services that lot, it got pretty thin last year. We deferred that to this upcoming year, knowing that when we got to this year, we're going to have to do it. So on that particular lot, as you come back to it, we've identified we can get gravel somewhere between maybe $800 and $1,000. And so I'm looking just to buy gravel. Tim Marriott, who's helped us so much, he got the volunteer of the year for Bring My Tools. Tim Marriott has offered, Matt, if you can rent the skid steer, I'll bring my stuff over in that. And I won't do it as the director, but we'll get guys that operate equipment. But we're going to save about $4,000 or $5,000 not trying to bid out re-graveling the Slater Street lot. So we need to do it. It's starting to pit in what gravel parking lots do. The State Farm lot. The State Farm lot is the old lease that we used to have with Sherman Publication. Jim Sherman used to own that building. That's where Lisa McLean's office is, and where the State Farm office is. It used to be Nick Horvath. Now it's the tall guy. I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden. How horrible. He's probably watching too. The State Farm lot. So that's a parking lot that the DDA likewise has had under lease agreement. With Jim Sherman, it was we paid a portion of property taxes. It averaged about $1,000 a year that we contributed to that. About 7 years ago, the DDA, through the village, then it was Joe Young, the village manager, unanimous collaboration with the council. We invested more than $17,000 in the reconstruction of that lot. Madam Chair, you might remember that. And striped the lot. We maintain that with snow and other debris. That lot's now owned by the Zaraga company, Dia Zaraga, who owns Sagebrush, a lot of things in our downtown. He would like to mirror the lease that we have with Mr. Caruso for that property. It's pretty similar in scale. I think Mr. Caruso has a few more parking spots by his. This one is a little bit it provides access back to our alley, so they have unique features. So we're going to recommend that we mirror the lease of Mr. Caruso. Mr. Zaraga is willing to accept that. It would be $1,200 a year, and we would continue to provide maintenance, but not structural maintenance. We wouldn't be replacing pavement or anything like that again. It would be basically keeping it clean and keeping it striped. The Tar Properties lot is the one that's across the street from the DDA. Last year, you all supported, it was completely a wreck in the middle. It was pretty dangerous, actually. At some spots went down 8 inches. It was hazardous. We took it upon ourselves to negotiate down cost to replace the center core of that from a paving perspective. That lease is a partial property tax lease. We pay 27% of the taxes levied against that property. It's kind of paying ourselves. The amount that we contribute in paying towards the tax bill at that 27% of the taxes is about how much we capture back in our prosperity funding model that we have. So not that it's a wash, it's still a cost to the DDA of about $1,800 a year for that lot. That lot is heavily, heavily used by employee traffic. The girls that work at Bean to Go, that's where they park. The people that work at the hair salon, that's right there, that's where they park. So it is heavily used for employee parking, so we support keeping this going. We're out of lease with that. We'd like to offer a renewed lease on the same terms. We think they'll say yes because we just invested $8,000 in fixing their parking lot. The Whiskey's lot, Mr. Garris, you remember Whiskey's? Mr. Barnett, welcome. Yep. We're teaching Mr. Garris all the little terms of our nicknames for everything, the Slater lot, the Whiskey's lot, the Tar lot. The Whiskey's lot is the old Whiskey's. The DDA, again, Madam Chair, just for the record, That was a donated piece of property from the Zaraga family holdings. The DDA facilitated all of that. We invested an additional $380,000 in the demolition of that and the construction of that parking lot. So that's a direct investment that the DDA made in our downtown. That lot is our most parked parking lot. That is constantly full. There's more cars in that lot than any other lot that we have. The south apron, so if all of you don't know what an apron is for the construction-minded, it's essentially the approach that gets you in and out of a parking lot. On one side is starting to sink a little bit because somehow they have dual drains. They have a drain that went in that parking lot and a drain that's in the road, and that approach apron is sinking a little bit. It's causing some type of a metal rebar. It looks to me like it might be a corner iron, just the way it's formatted. It's sticking up. The snow and ice has covered it this winter, but mark your words, you can see it right now. So we're recommending, we did start to get some quotes on what it would cost to fix that. The village has been very stern that even though it is a public parking lot, that's a DDA lot. So to get that fixed, we're going to have to fix it. And it's a dangerous hazard. So we're recommending that you allow me to seek at a cost not to exceed dollar amounts that I believe we can get this done for. We did get some original quotes as high as $22,000 and as low as $4,300. My best guesstimation is somewhere around $8,000 we could get that fixed. It's not a permanent 15-year fix. We're redoing the apron and covering that exposed metal that's sticking out of the ground. The school administration lot, this is a piece of a lease that we had for a long time with the school admin building. That's next to the Eman Center. That was a $2,500 a year annual cost. The schools have sold that property. The Westbergs are in the process of seeking demolition permits. They're going to tear it all up and tear it all out. Staff recommendation is that lease expired in October, we let that one go. If in the future it becomes a good idea to go to the Westberg companies when they do that project and finish it, that we can get evening parking, we will do so. But I'll remind everybody that's turning into a residential property. So it's not likely that this would ever become a viable kind of overflow lot for us. This is a good time just to let that lease go. But I would like to send some notice to all the parties just that we've made a decision to kind of let that go. The last thing is just other notes. We do have to process 2 payments that we're delinquent on. One is our apologies to our Vice Chair, Mr. Caruso. His lease got lost in the wash, out of sight, out of mind for your director. We owe him 2 years worth of lease payments to get that caught up. And likewise, we do owe 1 payment on the tar lot. That's going to total around $4,800, $4,875 is what I've estimated it at. And so that's part of the work tonight, Madam Chair, that I'd like to get approved, that I can go ahead and get those 2 leases caught up. The tar payment would be the payment we owe, which is not late, it's just due right now because we wait until the February tax bill season is over, and then we calculate that payment. So we're not late with that one, but I'd like to send the check with our lease renewal with the TARs so we can keep that lot active. So all of that's in front of you tonight. Originally it was adopt all the recommendations. Because it deals with contracts and money, good recommendations had to take them one at a time. Suggested motions would be possibly simply write each recommendation that's there, but I would leave that back to the chair.
So for item number 6, because we're going to require a roll call, could you tell me exactly the amount for Caruso lot and the exact amount for tar lot, please?
For the Caruso lot, it's $2,400. And for the tar property, I've estimated that it would be $2,475.
Those
So
those have already been approved, right? Those don't need a motion, I wouldn't think.
Only because we're kind of catching up. That part of that should have been paid out of last year's budget. I just want to make a record, Mr. Schell, that we acknowledge that we're paying 2 years of $1,200 each to Mr. Caruso and a 1-year. TAR's going up because the value, and we're doing our job, the value of everything in the village has gone up pretty dramatically, which is great for everybody.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay,
Do I need to recuse myself from one of the votes since it's my property? I mean, for 6, I mean, I'm not sure what's proper or.
Excellent question. We just went through this yesterday in the orientation with Mr. Garris. It's at your discretion, really. We have an existing contract with you. The terms are the terms.
Right.
If you feel more comfortable asking the board if you should recuse yourself from that vote, then if Elena says, yeah, that's
Madam
good.
Chair, I would just make a motion to recuse Mr. Caruso from this
Number
next
6.
action.
Just for number 6.
Number 6.
from number 6?
Yes.
Okay.
That only.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, motion to authorize the executive director to procure gravel at a cost not to exceed $1,000 from 248-726-975-002, and to rent necessary equipment at a cost not to exceed $700 from 248-260-940-000, and have the gravel delivered, installed, and spread prior to May 16th, 2026.
That's right.
I approve.
Madam Chair,
A
the
second.
motion to recuse needs a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why.
Do we do that now?
All
or
right,
what?
yeah, do that first.
Okay.
So
So it's
I
been
moved, supported.
Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
So
Okay.
Sam, you're out of this next vote.
Cool.
Number 6.
Number 6 only, correct?
But now do what you said.
Now what I said.
Okay.
Yeah, what I said.
Got it. And then who
Support.
seconded that?
All right,
Support by Laurent?
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
hold on.
It's not public comment.
Well, Robert's Rules of Orders allow at the discretion of the chair, if there's a discussion point directly on the content of the
agenda.
motion or the factual basis, that you can receive short, brief public comment, so your discretion.
Is it in regard to this?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, for sure. George Damdalides, 226 Bellevue. I would ask that as you go through these, and I think it's great that everything's getting caught up, I would ask that as you go through these, please take into consideration that one of the things Village Council is looking at for this year is whether or not to have paid parking in the village. And I would ask you to make sure that any lease agreements that we enter into would not preclude us. And when I say us, I'm talking DDA and the village, the collective us, that would not preclude us from going into a paid parking arrangement. We wouldn't want to have paid parking in some lots, and depending on DDA versus village, I think we ought to be consistent. So I would just ask you to be aware of that and take that into consideration, please.
So
Thank you.
with regards to that, then I have a question. If these are considered the DDA's lots that we pay for and we keep up, then the village wouldn't be able to put paid parking meters in them without our approval or our collaboration in that.
The ones we
Endeavor.
own, yeah.
And I
Because we're
cer-
paying for the snow removal, we're paying for the upkeep.
And I certainly, I agree with you, not necessarily my call, but I agree with you. But all I'm asking is just take that
Okay.
into consideration so that we don't end up with a lease that says, under the terms of the lease, the parking has to be free, and then we're, 6 months from now, we're in in somewhat of a quandary of, well, I got this one lot out there that I've got a lease agreement that says it can't be paid parking.
I know my lease doesn't say that.
And the ones that I've read don't either. I'm just asking, you just please take that into consideration.
Oh, for sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, my first motion stands and is not impacted by that.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Board Member Burnett,
Yes.
Chairperson Burgess,
Yes.
Treasurer Shell,
Yes.
Board Member Garris,
Yes.
Secretary Laurent,
Yes.
Vice Chair Caruso,
Yes.
and Board Member Campbell.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Number 2, State Farm.
So do we need to amend this one to account for that, or?
No.
Okay. Motion to offer a new renewable lease to the new ownership group at the State Farm lot, matching terms for other active parking lease agreements at $1,200 per year, plus maintenance, snow, ice removal, and signage.
Support.
Roll call.
Vice Chair Caruso,
Yes.
Board Member Campbell,
Yes.
Secretary Laurent,
Yes.
Board Member Garris,
Yes.
Board Member Burnett,
Yes.
Chairperson Burgess,
Yes.
and Treasurer Shell.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Number 3,
Madam Chair, I would recommend that this would combine the two TAR items So that it would be a motion to authorize this year's payment not to exceed $2,475 and the offering of a renewed lease on the same terms.
So
That way
moved.
The tar matter's done at once.
So moved.
Support.
All right.
Roll call?
Board Member Campbell,
Yes.
Chairperson Burgess,
Yes.
Treasurer Shell,
Yes.
Board Member Garris,
Yes.
Secretary Laurent,
Yes.
Board Member Barnett,
Yes.
Vice Chair Caruso.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Number 4?
Motion for the Whiskey's Lot to authorize the executive director to secure services for the repair of the south apron at a cost not to exceed $8,000 with funding from 248-730-975-006.
Support.
Roll call?
Chairperson Burgess,
Yes.
Board Member Barnett,
Yes.
Treasurer Shell,
Yes.
Board Member Garris,
Yes.
Secretary Laurent,
Yes.
Vice Chair Caruso,
Yes.
and Board Member Campbell.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Moving on to number 5?
Motion to allow the school administration lot lease to remain expired, provide notice to the new owners, and remove signage.
Support.
This one we can just say all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, number 6?
I move to move approval of the payments we already did tar, so to the Caruso lot, from CL 248-728-801-000 contractual services as we previously approved.
Support.
Hold up. Did you mention tar?
We already did that.
Because we already did that.
Yeah.
Okay, correct. Roll.
Madam Chair, I would just ask for a friendly amendment to add the amount of $2,400, so it's in the motion.
It was combined, so for $2,400. Thank you.
Support.
All right.
And Caruso can't vote.
I'll take 48 though.
No. Not my motion.
Does he need to leave the room? Or?
No, he can stay.
I'll just shut up.
All right. Board Member Campbell,
Yes.
Board Member Barnett,
Yes.
Chairperson Burgess,
Yes.
Secretary Laurent,
Yes.
Board Member Garris,
Yes.
and Treasurer Shell.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to item number B, downtown electrical overview and recommendations, page 35.
Madam Chair, in your packet on page 36 is 2 photos, which is really all the presentation that needs to happen. If you haven't seen them, take some time afterwards. This was to address the condition of our electrical GFI circuits. So when the streetscape was put in, for those that are watching or aren't aware of it, the DDA invested several $1 million of its own money and combined grant money to do this beautiful streetscape with bricks and trees and beautiful things. Again, it's an indication of the more than $20 million that we've invested in our downtown over a period of years. And that shouldn't be lost on everybody, that that's a beautiful investment, but also needs to be maintained. The electrical systems have consistently been a maintenance question for the DPW. As you all know, in the last 2 years, this has moved to, if it's the DDA's original project, that it's the DDA's responsibility. So we've taken on the task of putting out an RFP to seek an assessment and a potential repair to what we noticed over Christmas lights. For those that have business downtowns, half the Christmas lights were consistently out. It's because the power is consistently failing. Many of the trees that were planted in the 2011-12 streetscape era have now overgrown some of these plugs and conduits. It's, as you can see in the photo, we've got conduit sticking out that is embedded, half of it into the tree there. So what we have right now, Madam Chair, is we have exposed wires through the downtown that we believe are all dead because the wiring in the ground has likewise been compromised. We issued an RFP. How much would it cost to assess this? So in your packet is the bid sheet. We did get 4 offered quotes. They range from $5,000 of State Electric saying, will this come out and start looking at it? And they're a really good firm, up to $48,600 and $56,000 to do a complete electrical testing and assessment of what really works and doesn't work. This, Madam Chair, has been brought to you, as I said in the memo to you, really on a specific recommendation. We have a little nuance. We talked to the village manager about it today. I wanted to bring this to the board's attention that we have pulled these numbers so you can get an understanding. If we start to take the undertaking of providing power for plugs, for events, for ourselves, for lighting, all of those things, there's going to be a huge cost that's coming. This is just the assessment. We do have a contract with our DPW. In that contract, there's language that indicates, and I put the contract in the packet, there is language for streetlight and electrical outlet repair. DPW will perform maintenance and repair of DDA-owned or designated decorative streetlights and public electrical outlets within the downtown district, including diagnosis, bulb and fixture replacements, and minor pole repairs. So the diagnosis exactly is what we quoted. What I'm asking is, one, I wanted to make a record of this, and I'm asking for your direction. And so I put as a recommended motion that we would issue an actual notice to the village. Now, this is not to be combative. This is to be legal and lawful, and we have contracts, and we have to do everything appropriately because the contract that we have with them is for a fixed dollar amount that includes that they're to keep this stuff maintained, including diagnosis and repair of these outlets. My recommendation is we have to put that to a more formal test in the sense of what the village is really willing to contribute towards this. That's what's before you tonight. It's not my recommendation to hire state or DES or any of these other contractors. They're all excellent. This gives us a baseline of what it might cost to do a thorough analysis of where we will be long-term. In the short term, we need to give formal notice, legal notice to the village that they have a contractual obligation to do this, and that's what's before you. Certainly subject to your discussion, and I'm not trying to put it on the record, not trying to pick a fight. I'm putting my attorney hat on before the DDA. This is what, contract's a contract.
Motion to authorize the executive director to issue a notice to the Village of Lake Orion asking for the repair of all damaged outlets pursuant to both the executed contract for such services and as a duty for damage caused by seasonal snow maintenance in downtown.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion
Can I
carries.
ask a question? So it's interesting. So you said that the DDAs over the years has contributed back to $20 million for infrastructure?
As we'll announce in our reports, we are having an open house next Thursday for the Main Street program that defines that, and we've been accumulating all the project work that the DDA has done, and it starts to total in excess of 20 million. Now, some of that's grant funded and other things, but money that we've contributed and we've brought as investment into the downtown. And it includes things like the entire children's park, re-landscaping and equipment. It includes all the streetscaping. It includes the streetlights. It's a long list. of
Yeah,
what we've
probably
done.
part of that. Probably part of those discussions that we contribute back to the infrastructure for the village residents, which is awesome. All
Yeah.
our tax dollars are and captures going at work is really well funded. I'm appreciative of that.
Yeah, I mean,
Thanks for bringing it up.
the EV charging, the
Yeah.
pavement, repavement, the fixing, I know the rocks fall by your business, Ms. Campbell, but all of that at one point has been DDA-funded expenses. The children's park, or the bridge by the Art Center
That's nice.
is funded by the DDA. I mean, there's a substantial amount of investment that's happened in our downtown. We kind of joked with the public boat people that you can't park your boat at the public docks, and the police can't park at their designated space at Greens Park unless the DDA decided to build those docks. All of that investment is from us. So it's a long list. So we'll announce later the open house.
Great,
next
it's awesome.
Can I ask a question? You might have said it, but like, what is the village manager saying about like the last item? Are we talking with him and?
We are, it's going to be more of a discussion. We talked today of our office's discussion directly with Mr. Sanchez, the DPW director. If they have done some things, like when we were turning circuits on to get ready for lights, we found that wiring underground for the lights that are in front of Rise Lounge that goes all the way out by AutoZone. They did pull somebody and fix that, but we paid for all the supplies and the materials for that. So the contract was one that was offered by them in the budgetary, we just kind of took it. I hate to say that, but we just said, let's get this moving forward. Now we've at the hard part of defining it. So it's going to be more between me, myself, and Mr. Sanchez over the next couple of weeks as to what his team is willing and capable of doing. I don't really foresee the village manager getting involved with that substantively, not because I wouldn't want it, because I just don't see it.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Moving on to item number C, social district.
8.
It's the one we added, 8C.
I move to recommend the approval of the application from 14 wineries partnering as Michigan by the Bottle for inclusion in the Lake Orion Social District, and direct the executive director to facilitate the presentment of a fully prepared resolution of approval of permit for village council's consideration at its next meeting.
Support.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to item number 9, reports, resolutions, and recommendations. A, Executive Director, page 49.
Madam Chair, you did get part of it just in the prior dialogue. Next Thursday, it has been out there. Janet and I are sending out postcard invitations tomorrow that Deborah Navarro, one of our illuminators, has graciously made. It's been a good exercise for us of calling together more of our mailing list. We email so many people, but we've never really physically mailed that, so we've been updating that. So all that's going to drop tomorrow and get out a week ahead of time. Next Thursday, the 26th, is our Main Street open house. We are, again, being accredited by the national program. We've not received that actual paperwork. We're kind of jumping the gun. We're kind of not. The county is very supportive of us holding an open house that really proclaims what is Main Street. We find that there's a lot of people in the community that still don't know what Main Street is and why it's important to us. So have you ever had a graduation party, Madam Chair, and it forces you to clean your house? We are cleaning our office from years of old files so that we can have a reception. At 6:30 next Thursday, the 26th, I know there's a lot of stuff goes in our town. We're going to stop to have a little recognition of we've been accredited for the 19th consecutive year. That is a huge accomplishment of all of you and the organization. So that's part of what we've been working on. We did conduct an orientation. We have new books that we've put together that are resource books for the board. Some of you might still have your old manual. We're going to make a few more of these for those that want them. We can give you a new book. It's some of the same material, but it includes our new strategic plan. I like the fact that it has a cheat sheet of 10 mistakes you can make as a board member on how you can violate opens meetings and how you can hit reply all and screw everything up. And so if you're interested in getting a new book, let us know. Because we have to do all of our own copying and printing and everything kind of in-house or out-house, these cost a little bit because it is good to have them in color in certain sections. So if you really don't need it, you just want little sections, why don't you come see us? So if you weren't able to come to the orientation, the encouragement is parcel out a little bit of time, come see what it is, we'll make some copies for you with that. What's really cool at the end of the book, we are going to get to everybody electronically, is the National Main Street Program has issued a new board member handbook for Main Street. Janet and I are both blown away with the quality of that. Main Street USA does some really great things. That board member handbook is really cool because it really gets you engaged in what's your role as a board member in the 4 pillars and how do you become advocates and how do you constantly stay as an ambassador. It's really, really well done. So we're going to send that out with the strong encouragement, Madam Chair. We may have our own internal annual kind of board training that we're starting to go periodically. Remember, we did a strategic plan. The next session might be we find a convenient time where we could spend an afternoon or even a whole day walking through that board member handbook because it has some really good exercise work into it. So we'll send all of that out. The rest of my report is, I spent a day cutting up the trees downtown because the ice storm did a bunch of debris. So I brought in the chainsaw and the pruning saw and cut it all up and got a little bit of help from Daniel Pavlich, who came back and worked for us for a day, which was great of that. The wind has blown part of our fence down again. your executive director is going to be doing those types of things, don't mind it a bit. It's fine. It's part of keeping our town beautiful. We're going. I have been helping Janet. She'll probably talk a little bit. We're excited that we're creating some really cool marketing intake forms that she'll speak to. So her and I have been tag teaming that a little bit of my ability to work the back end of PDF documents and her creative mindset of putting that together. The rest of it is what it is. The last thing I'll report is we're getting very heavily into budget season. I'll be meeting with the assessor at the township on Friday. Matt Pfeiffer has very kindly facilitated that meeting. The purpose of that is we have to start getting earlier access to their projected ad valorem revenue. Currently, we're getting it second and third hand through the village manager's office, and by the time it gets to us, like I still don't have anything except some very basic preliminary numbers. It's really not fair to us. We've got to do our budgeting. It's almost impossible to do our budgeting. So thanks to the township, I'm going to be over in their offices on Friday, meeting with the assessor to set up a plan of how we can start to get that information directly. And then you should expect the budget will hit for you in draft form in your inbox in a start looking at it way. I'll preempt it by saying our budget's not changing much. We will look at our projections. If we are gaining a lot more revenue, which we believe we are because the First Mosherry development is landing on the ad valorem roll, the Mystic Cove. It's great for us. That revenue from your director is initially going to go towards, we're going to stop spending fund balance. If you remember, this year we spent fund balance. We have to keep fund balance in our budget. One, it's an accounting standard practice that we should be adhering to. And if an anomaly happens, I don't want the organization to get caught without a couple, $300,000 of fluctuating balance that we can cover something that might happen. So you're not going to see a lot of change. We're not going to go on a spending spree. This is why we're doing things like forgiving the school's parking lot lease. It's only $2,500. Doesn't make much sense. If we do it, then it's coming out of fund balance. So you'll see all of that in the next couple of weeks, and that's my report unless there's questions.
Just one thing, you mentioned that the initial book, from the member training, is that in a PDF version? Can I get a PDF version versus I happen to go and get a copy of it?
It's a great idea. You know what I should do is I should put it on a flash drive because it's really data heavy.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that, Mr. Cruz? I'll
Great.
put a bunch of them on flash drive and you can
Because
save it on your desktop or keep it as a flash drive, all
That
right?
one on the binder.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. Should have thought of that. Good idea.
Motion to receive and file?
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to lumberyard report. Matt, did you want to say anything about that?
About the lumberyard report?
Yes.
Yeah, we have one action item that I'd like the board to consider as part of the report. So just quickly in the report, this doesn't need to be a laborious report. We went to the Planning Commission for PUD eligibility. So where are we at with things in the whole concept of a lot of things that have been asked for in the past? So our 5 users all have contracts in hand. That's all awaiting getting finality of plan development. So we didn't move forward with architecture for the addition on the little office or anything like that because we wanted to keep that in status quo. We have our complete traffic impact analysis done. We have MDOT waiting on the village essentially for plan PUD eligibility approval before they will move forward with the stormwater calcs. They've looked favorably on all of our access points. We're in a really good spot with MDOT. We've done all of the DT pre-service planning, and this is the action item we'll talk about real quick. For all the DT service planning on how to bring power back to the site, DT is very favorable to us. We were not going to need new transformers, we're not going to need ground transformers. We're going to have to replace the ones on the poles, which we knew. Everything else was stripped in demolition. So DT's been out multiple times with me. We've done all of the preliminary site walk. From a board perspective of savings, this whole long-awaited, where's the plan in the budget? It is a complete budgetary process. We are focusing on saving expenditure first. So instead of hiring a third-party contractor through public RFP process, your director who knows how to do this has done all the site walks with DT. DT service planning work orders have been pulled. We're right there. So we've saved probably 20 grand that way. I think it's foolish. You can direct me if you think that's wrong. I think it's foolish for us to start pushing out huge dollar amount things that we can do internally in the same time frame. So we're all there. So we took PUD eligibility because we're at that stage now where we've got certainty from DT, we've got certainty from MDOT, we know what our environmentals are, we know what our plan's been, how many times have we seen our concept plan here and elsewhere, a year at least, and we went to PUD eligibility. The Planning Commission gave us a really rough time but did vote to recommend eligibility. They would not move forward on the concept plan. I was a little surprised by that, but that's okay. It got to council, and council did not have enough board members to be able to take action on that. That was, again, another very rough meeting from the perspective of certain council people as to how they view both the project and our organization and me, but that's okay too. So where are we at tonight, Madam Chair? I had presented, there's 3 issues. The first one is just so you understand where we're at with the PUD process. We are still moving forward with that. That plan development, the reason it's a planned unit development is in large part because of 2 main reasons. We are proposing to use a permeable surface to the Michigan Department of Transportation, so the calculation of how much water flows across our site gets driven down so that they will work with us, and they are on the permit to utilize that percolation basin that was installed 60 years ago. MDOT's ready to approve all of that. I mean, I say that and somebody watching will go, oh, no, they're not. Yeah. All of our discussions is they're anticipating that. That's what they're waiting for. So the PUD is still moving forward because we need planned unit development in order to do all of the public space aspects of the grant that this board approved unanimously and our village council approved unanimously, and everybody accepted $595,000 from Main Street, Oakland County to do a public space historic preservation of that area. In order for us to pull that off, it's been in every document for 19 months that we are proposing to hard surface fire access and to permeable surface for stormwater, some of our internal parking. That now seems to be a complete surprise after 19 months of presenting plans and explaining and giving these presentations. So there's your update on your PUD. What I do need you to consider is the electrical contractor work. We pushed out an RFP to get a proposal lump sum to take over where I have DT service planning and get the plan development for where power and how power is going to come to the site. We pushed that out. There was a site walk. We had firms come to the site walk. As it states in my memo, we did receive 2 bids that were timely, March 12th at noon. The clerk missed out. We opened those here. We received another bid electronically that came in a couple hours after the deadline, and then it was hand delivered on the 12th as well. That bid was turned in blind to everything else, but for public record purposes, we technically have 3 proposals that are on the table to do the next step of work so that we can start planning where power is going to go. In your packet, I put the proposals. From Income Power, it's $43,000. From State Electric, it's, if I can get there real quick, it's $20,000 as a lump sum. And the one that came in a few hours behind was Triple R Electric for $12,500. All 3 of these have a comprehensive knowledge of what we're doing and how we want to proceed. So here's the dilemma. We had a 3rd proposal come in after the RFP deadline that is less than our procurement policy that requires us to publicly bid anything. 2 of the 3 qualify for that. The one that is $43,000 would be potentially a 3rd quote if we were getting quotes. You gave me the procurement authority that is, despite some emails we've received, has been on our website, has been approved, it's in our minutes, it's in our record for the lumberyard that we can get quotes instead of public bid process. Even the $43,000 amount does not require us to publicly bid the work of doing preliminary planning for DT. I put in my memo to remind you that we did this exact thing for demolition. If you recall, Mr. Garrett, you wouldn't, but we publicly bid demolition, and then we received a number of prices that were substantially less than the requirement for public bid notice. This board took into account all of those, treated them as quotes that were independently obtained, and then made a decision. So here's the request. If the board feels more comfortable of me contacting these firms and having them resubmit the identical paperwork essentially, but we termed that all three of them were submitted independently. And then I can bring it back. I would bring it to a special meeting. We can do that. My feeling is the prices are going to be the same, but I understand procedure, understand our procurement policy, or we could say we're going to reject the whole thing and redo it. My recommendation is I feel comfortable recommending the low quote that came in from R. They hit all of our benchmarks. They're a local firm. They've done a significant amount of work in our downtown. They've got a very reputable firm. They came in late. State Electric and Income Power might say this is unfair. The safe route is to say redo it, and we can. The more aggressive route is to say, you know what, we got 3 independent quotes. The director is verifying that they were independent of each other. Let's treat them as quotes and take the low one. And I would answer any questions on that. And I apologize that I'm giving you that. You know I'm a more aggressive person. I need to give you the option to move forward. That's the option.
Do we have any discussion here?
I mean, thank you. I'm just curious, like a general understanding, because I heard things blew up, but I don't know what happened. So beyond that, like where do we stand with the project with the village council? And I'm not trying to poke the bear, but I didn't get a chance to watch the meeting. Are we on hold?
No. We will be submitting for our existing structures. We'll be submitting for like the bakery building that we know Tringali, Mario Spags is going to go in that building. We're not going to do the addition. If he wants to pursue that as a separate project, he can. We're going to be bringing in permit requests. It'll be on our next agenda to do permit requests to hire contractors to do the interior build out, HVAC, electrical, everything else. That we can do that without any further approvals from the village. Same way with the barn. The trailhead gets a little bit different because it's a public gathering space. So we're going to continue to pursue that. PEA right now is accelerating, moving, instead of doing more concept plan development, they're just going to develop a final plan. And we're going to submit it. And if the Planning Commission and the council decide that they want to change a lot of things, we'll deal with it. We'll absorb the cost of that. So we're going to pursue that, Mr. Barnett, in the same way that we could have from the beginning. Project is still in good shape. Are we being delayed a little bit? I would argue, and Jim Butler knows this, we're as delayed by the lack of a more definitive engineered plan than we are by what happened at the council meeting, the last council meeting. It doesn't help that at that last council meeting, it just gets really personal. It gets, there's just statements of incompetency and you don't know what you're doing and there's no plan. And we had council people say that we've spent over $2 million and nothing has happened. And I'm like, I don't know how much more effort can go into something happening at that site than what's happened to this point. And so that meeting was more about that commentary than it was about how can we help move this to the next stage, or here's what we have concerns about with eligibility. It was all about competency and wastefulness. And so it was disappointing, but it is what it is. So the project's not really held up any differently. Here's where it will change. If in the next 45 days or so, and you're very familiar with how this works from a planning perspective, if we submit more substantive formal site plan for PUD and bypass some of the preliminary concept plan steps of the PUD, we just go directly there, and then that's is a no or is delayed, then we will go to a phase plan, and the chair and I have been talking about this. Same project. The difference will be instead of doing the bike shop and the little boutique hotel and the little extra retail, maybe whatever we're going to put there, we would pad site that as a second phase, and we would do our public space to satisfy the county grant, and we would do all the parking, the landscaping, and the trail development, and we would do phase 1, and then next year we would go back to those. It's just not ideal. It's spending probably, this route with PEA is probably adding $80,000 to $100,000 of cost to us in pre-engineering on the uncertainty of whether the village is willing to do this. And this has been my approach all along, is to try to compel an idea that just give us concept approval so the dollars we're spending in final engineering don't have to be redone. The Eman Center project, they're at almost $800,000 in added cost as a result of 7 engineering re-reviews. We simply can't get caught in that. So, long answer, sorry, Chris, but, project's good. If we have to phase it, our public space project will still be a go of where we're going. That can't be said no to, because we'd have to pay $600,000 back to the county, and that would turn into a bigger mess. I cannot imagine Village Council saying, we dislike you so much, we're willing to risk that. If you saw the last meeting, maybe, I don't know.
I did. I heard it was messy. But I'll just say one more thing, like, what, and I can't access the file on my iPad, but does anybody know up here what we were looking to spend on the parking deck
Yeah,
next to?
5 million.
5, at
5 to
least.
6 million, something like that.
Yeah.
5 million.
5, so we were, I mean, I don't want to exaggerate, but we were close
For
to pulling the
74
trigger
spaces.
on a one-level pavement, one-level parking deck for 74 spots
Right.
for $5 million, and we have all these other things happening that are going to be amazing for our downtown. And I see your hand, and I'm not the chair, but I would just say to anyone on the village council or in this building that comes to work here, like, can we sit down and figure out how to get this done for the betterment of our community? It's embarrassing. And that's not directed to the staff of the DDA or even the village staff, but like, I haven't had a chance to watch the meeting, but I heard it was messy. And like, we're trying to do good stuff. Like, people that live here don't understand why we can't just sit down at a table and sort this out. So you guys have heard me for 14 years now, and I'm a broken record, but to the extent that we can help with the township or the building department or our consultants, if we need help with engineering, like, we will help. Because I would love to see this not go another year or 2 or spend a bunch of extra money that we don't need to spend. And I do understand that. That is real. When you segment a project and you break stuff up and you piecemeal stuff, you spend maybe not double, but
A lot more.
a lot more. So I will get more re-engaged if interested, and lean on our consultants that do a lot of work for us, because we just need to get everybody at one table. And I know your hand's up, and I'm not the chair, but like, if people that really care want to just set the egos down and just sit down, like, we need to do that. Comment over. Don't let me talk anymore tonight. Thank you.
Would you like to say something?
George Dandelides, 226 Bellevue. Matt, I appreciate your kind of dancing around gingerly around this. Specifically, what happened at council was we had four councilmen available. So we needed all 4 votes to have approved this through council. It made it through the planning commission, but came to council. We had 4 people. We needed 4 votes to pass it. There were some questions that were asked. I think the tenor of the discussion, I'm going to say, was mostly positive, okay? But it was obvious after the discussion that we did not have 4 votes. And so the decision was made to table it to the next meeting when we had a fuller complement of our council and felt more, I'll just say, I felt more comfortable that we would have gotten the 4 votes. I'll just say it that way. So I think things would have been different had we had more than 4 councilmen there.
And can I ask I lied. Can I ask one more question?
Well, I'm in a generous mood, so go ahead.
I remember like a year ago-ish, when we said, anyone in the public that's listening watches this later, reads about this in the review, if you have ideas or want to help, please come forward and help us. Remember when you guys said that?
It's true.
How many people came forward to help? It's not a trick question.
If I can, Madam
But I
Chair.
think, I won't even I'm not going to put you on the spot. It's not fair to you.
No. Well,
But what I would say is, the goal here is pure. The goal is pure. We're trying to do great things for our community. No one here is making a bunch of money or any money. We're trying to do good things for our downtown. So I think it's an opportunity for a reset to say, can we all sit at a table and figure out how to do good things for our downtown without costing us? Literally, I think you're underestimating. I think it's hundreds of thousands of dollars extra and delays. Like, the engineering consultant that works for the village should be sitting next to you saying, this is how we get this done, not potentially putting up roadblocks. So, I mean, I'm careful about what I say, but I've been doing this a few years where it's like, the people that are our partners, this is our goal, there's the finish line, we're trying to get there, please help us. Don't put up red tape, stumbling blocks, and I don't know, man, Jim Newell, please write about this.
Madam Chair, I feel like, it's St. Patrick's Day, everybody, wants to get out tonight, but.
No, we want to get this project going.
There is some innocent realities to it. So, the village has a planning firm that in the life of this project is now on their third represented planner. So it started with Gage Belko, who had an opinion, and we were proceeding in a way that, and then Mario came in, and Mario had a different opinion. And now they've got new people. They're gonna start working in your office, actually. They're really good. I mean, they're really good people. But we sat in a meeting, the planning commission happened. I immediately sent notice saying, we have to have a meeting with the village manager, the planner, so that I can better understand, because the direction that was recommended to the planning commission was different than a year's worth of direction out of that planning firm. So these are the surprises that really can train wreck what Chris is talking about. So I said, we have to have a meeting. Went to the meeting. They're really good people, but they're leafing through the ordinance book trying to search for answers on a project that is really, really difficult to reverse engineer, to do this really the right way and lawfully. So we're up against really good, well-intentioned people that have a hard time knowing how to do it. So that's not a disparagement of them. It's just a challenge. I mean, this is not like building a parking deck where you just, okay, well, let's pay an engineer to design it, and here's our permit, and let's go build it. This is this multiplicity of things. And so here's where we're at, and I would push you back to the task at hand. Chris is right. This could cost a lot of money. I'll put it out there to anybody that wants to come sit with me. They never do. I'm more than happy to explain it to anybody. Why would I come here and say, we got 2 responses from a published RFP that we pushed out on VidNet and Mitten and published on our website and sent out to a bunch of firms, and then we got 3 hours later, we got something from RRR, and I'm here saying, just take the low quote and let's move forward. Because it's lawful, we can consider that. We have a procurement policy that allows us to take a single quote and waive everything else. We could reject the bids that came in and just take RRR. What I'm trying to compel is an understanding of, I'm sitting here anxious to have to explain this, not anxious like, I can't wait, anxious because I know to do this means that I'll take 18 slings and arrows over the next 6 weeks about how I don't know what I'm doing and I'm incompetent. But what I'm telling you is we're never going to get DT service planning plan development for power drops less than $12,500 out of a local firm that's been proposed by Craig at RRR, and we should take it. And if we delay to have to redo this to get the same damn numbers, it's another 30 days, and Chris is right. Every time we do that, it's a pain in the ass. So, Madam Chair, I'd like to take the slings and arrows and recommend that you accept the proposal from RRR under our policy that allows this board to acknowledge what came in, waive any requirements in favor of the recommendation and allow me to contact them tomorrow and get this work going.
So moved. And
Let's build
we
this.
worked with them before, and they're a reputable firm. I move that motion.
Did everybody hear that? Could you repeat that one more time, Mr. Barnett?
I move the motion that the executive director is to work with Triple R to get this done.
And what you said before that?
We've worked with them in the past multiple times, and they are a reputable firm.
That's what you need to know.
Thank you.
Period.
Could I have a roll call, please?
Board Member Barnett,
Yes.
Chairperson Burgess,
Yes.
Board Member Campbell,
Yes.
Vice Chair Caruso,
Yes.
Secretary Laurent,
Yes.
Board Member Garris,
Yep.
and Treasurer Shell.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Madam Chair, last thing in the lumberyard report, remember I said there was 3, this one's extremely brief. I put a bunch of architectural proposal work from Davis and Davis. Davis and Davis gave us immensely fair pricing to do as-bills to get us through, so Mr. Barnett's building department has as-built records on our kind of design-build approach to our historic preservation. They've likewise submitted multiple quotes. I've looked at in depth, I've talked to them. They were offering to be here tonight. I said it's not ready yet for us to do this work anyway. We have far more plan development work to do anyway. I'd like to just postpone this. We don't need to take action, but just for your information, it's good information to see how they approach it. If you look through the packet, if the public looks through it, I'm not asking this because I got an email from one of our naysayers that, oh my God, it wasn't done right. It's done completely right, and we could take action like we just did with the Triple R. I don't think it's ready. So I want you to be aware, we're going to pursue architectural quotes on breaking this out so that we can move fast to get what we'll now need in the change in the way we're doing the PUD. We now need a preliminary floor plan and elevation that would go directly to PUD site plan final approval. That's how we're going to expedite getting caught up. We're going to need that at some point, but not tonight. So just for your information, we're passing on this. I'm going to work with Davis and Davis. I'm also going to work with 2 other architectural firms to confirm, Davis knows this, Howard Davis knows we're doing this, to confirm our pricing's good, and you'll see it next month. I just wanted to make a record of that, okay? And that's the lumberyard report.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
What is an as-built?
So an as-built is when they come in and they do an assessment of the structural capacity of what's there. We had Davis and Davis Architects come in cooperation with Mickey's Construction, Mike Bartos, our general construction contractor for the historic preservation. And as they were reconstructing the rot and the walls, Davis was coming in and they've got as-built drawings that show exactly how those structures are built, including the little office building. And that allows us for the inspections that have been so diligently done by the township that they've got a record behind of this is exactly what we saw and why we approved that it's been constructed pursuant to historic code.
Thank you.
That's why we do it.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Motion to receive and file.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to item C, committee's minutes, page 95.
Do we need assistant director?
Thank you.
She's
So,
Oh, after that. Okay. Sorry.
so just to cover a few points on this, again, Director Garris, just a little note on this. So again, we have 4 committees that are through our Main Street setup, and that is economic vitality, promotion, organization, and design. For design and EV, we did not meet January and February. We are looking to add more members and rebalance those committees. We are meeting later this month for economic vitality. Again, adding, we do have some new folks that are interested in that, so we're excited to get that launched. In your packet, you have the organization committee minutes. And again, born out of that committee has been the Illuminators program, which has been fantastic. Thank you to Elena and also Deborah Navarro, who stepped forward with the Channel 7 last minute ask, running down with their gear on and hats, etc. And we got a lot of positive feedback from that Channel 7, and it was on radio. It ended up in many different news services. So, and we had people that reached out to us that wanted to become volunteers. So again, Elena, thank you for taking that charge and reaching out to several of those to get them added to the mix. For the promotions committee, couple items that we have been working on with that group is we did a survey with our promotions committee, And there is a spreadsheet that is within that document. So with that, we took all the events that we had in the community calendar and we had them rate the different community events and our events. In the rating scale where it says majority rating, we have, number one is for supportive. So it's not a DDA event. We're not partnering together with that, such as like a art and flower fair, but we do just support, such as the Lake Orion Resolution Run, where they're not really looking to grow that event. It is something where they're like, you know what, we have our number of runners that we need. It's a size that we can manage, but we appreciate anything as far as social media or anything else that we can help support on that front. Collaborative, again, as I mentioned, Art and Flower Fair falls in that category, and then DDA exclusive are our DDA events. We also had the group go through and look at each event as if it was image building, economic vitality, or a signature event. So this spreadsheet kind of takes all that information and rolls it up into one document. So what we have found is that we have 15 DDA signature events that happen during the year. So with that, we do know, and looking through January through December, we're exceptionally heavy in the fall season with the different activities that we have. So with the promotions committee, the one thing that we're working on is balancing the number of events that we have, when they occur during the year, and look at what can we do to make sure that we are addressing retail events. And we do know that we're very light in the beginning of the year, but we also are adding and expanding what we do for Ice Fest, which had a lot of positives behind it this year. People are excited about the chili cook-off that happened. People are excited that more people were in the streets this year. So we'll keep building on that. But just know this is a work in progress that we're working with our promotions committee, and I just wanted to point that out. And then also Annalisa from Boutique Chic has been kind enough to be our test subject as we have created an event form. And what that event form is are for those events within the downtown area that happens that if they would like support with that event, and we're talking like flyers, social media, banners that are on M24, that we give them that document and we work through what's the purpose of your event, what do you want to see, what do you want to accomplish with that event. And so we sit down, have a meeting, review that information, and then we come up with for lack of a better term, almost like a contract, what we agree to support for that event. And we have deadline dates put in there, what we're providing, the number of social media posts, number of banners. So again, thank you to Annalisa with Boutique Chic with her event that's coming up in April that we're going through this process. So just want to give you an update on some of the committee items that are happening with that.
Could I ask a question?
Yes.
So what qualifies or what differentiates a event from a signature event?
So signature event was really, they felt it was, first of all, it was a DDA event. That was the first qualifier. And then second of all, that they felt that it was something that really defined as far as our DDA presence within the downtown offering those events. So we came up with the 15, that was through that.
We gave them a definition.
Yeah.
Basically, is the event focus is a DDA principal purpose. And we compared that to Art and Flower Fair, which is an art center principal focus where we support, and gave them a definition that created that distinction, and then left it for them to rank. And if they wanted to say Ice Fest was an ancillary event because the Rotary, they could. So we created a definition without giving them a book, so to speak.
Okay, I'm just curious, because in the past, we had events, and then what we called a signature event would be the one largest event that the DDA was responsible for. So when you say 15 signature events, my eye sockets are rolling in the back of my head because there's no way that would be, so that's why I'm asking by definition what actually really qualifies it. I hear what you're saying, but
I understand what you're saying, because we have talked about that vernacular before.
Yes.
So it's a little different here. It's not necessarily our biggest events that are happening, but are those that it is matching a purpose that we want to have that event within the DDA.
So we might want to put some kind of language in there that states, just because moving forward, I think our community has been so used to, the DDA has like a signature event for, and when you say 15, I'm gonna have a convulsion right now. So if we could somehow add some in-depth language to that, I think that would be
Okay.
very, very helpful moving forward.
We'll do that.
I
Thank you.
think by the chart, by your little spreadsheet here, it looks like there's 7 that are considered, does SE mean signature event? Because there's EV, it'd be cool having like a little bit of a key, but does SB mean signature event? In the green, like majority purpose, SE, does that mean signature event?
Yeah, so there's a report in here that has that in there.
Keep.
So IB is image building,
Okay,
EV, economic vitality, SE, signature event. But I
Okay.
will add that key to the spreadsheet.
because there's only, so by that spreadsheet, there's only 7 signature events, but of the 15, 7 are signature, the rest are other kind of events, which is good. I think that makes it less scary than having, there's not 15 signature events, there's actually 7 that I see that are labeled as signature
Are you
events.
looking at the second page?
1, 2, yes, 1, 2, 3,
I think he's looking at this
4,
column.
5, 6. Yeah, there's 7 signature events, which is sounds better than 15.
Yeah.
Great.
So we had to kind of roll up, right? So we had two questions that were asked. And so with that majority rating is where it came up as 3 once we pulled all the data together. That's what we're going off of. And it really does list as far as, we'll come up with a different term than signature, that it is events that they did find that were important, whether it was restaurant focused or retail focused.
So could you quickly just name those for us?
So starting from the top, so we have the Lake Orion Ice Fest.
Okay, next.
Yep, and then for our Main Street open house, that also came forward because that's defining who we are, and
Okay.
so we thought that was important. The spring cleanup that we do in May, National Trails Day that we do in partnership with the township, our LO Live concert series, and also for our outdoor movie nights, we are looking to continue the 3 movie nights. Michigan Downtown Day, again, looking to really expand that this year. The Halloween extravaganza in October, the Witches Night in October, Sing and Stroll, looking to really revamp that. And Shop Small Saturday, adding more activities with that, and then the Polar Express in December.
Yep.
Okay, so in that list, I see about 3, or maybe 4, what I would call signature events.
Fair enough, yep. I could see that.
Because when you're calculating the hours that is spent to pull something off, those other things that we're collaborating with other people is not what I consider to be going to pull huge man hours.
Right.
In comparison. Okay, thank you, I
Yep,
appreciate that.
absolutely.
Do we have a receive and file?
Motion to receive and file.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, thank you. Moving on to Assistant Director's Report.
Okay, moving on, thank you. So we have some upcoming events that are happening. The first thing I want to mention is that this Thursday, we do have the Main Street Oakland County Breakfast Summit. And that is held at 8:30 to 11:30. It's going to be at Lafayette Grand Banquet Facility in Pontiac. For those that maybe have not registered for this, I might be able to sneak you in for that. I highly recommend this. It is an opportunity for all the DDAs to bring their boards, their committees, and also like Village Council is invited for this as well, to join us at the summit and talk about what we would like to see the county support for our DDAs. It's really good, it's interactive, you can ask questions, we get into deep conversation, and you know, last year, kind of the top topic that came out is that we need more financial support from the county. And so they were working on doing that and did achieve that. So highly suggested, if you have not signed up for that, please reach out. I will work with the county to try to get you in. And again, that is happening Thursday on March 19th. Couple other things that we have coming up. We have March 26th. You'll see these cards going out, Main Street Open House. I gave everybody a copy. Please invite friends, family. Again, recognition of the 19th accreditation. It'll be at our office on March 26th, 4 to 8 p.m. And so we're excited to, again, talk about our illuminators, talk about the Main Street program, talk about the successes of the program, and be available for questions. So if anybody has questions, we are there. We are willing to answer those. So we invite everybody to join us for that. May 9th, again, we're going to have our spring cleanup day, 9 a.m. to noon, meet at Cookies and Cream. Again, thank you for feeding the folks that come out for that. Bring your gloves and gardening tools. We'll have the yard bags ready to go. And also want to mention as far as art and flower fair. So that's happening May 16th to 17th. And they offer, Orion Art Center runs that particular event, but businesses get one free spot to use in front of their location. There is a $25 application fee, and you must do it through his application, and you need to get that done before end of month, this month, to be able to use that space. So if you can go to the Orion Art Center website and start that application process, we'd love to see our businesses out amongst the other vendors. Shop OC Main Streets, again, the program is still going on until June 30th for their $100,000 challenge. So far, Oxford has won the last 2 times. Again, the more that we have shoppers go onto the shopocmainstreets.com, more entries are made. There are winners for the DDA as well as for the shoppers themselves, and they get into a $500 drawing. DDAs are eligible for $1,000. So I told Kimberly Oxford that the gauntlet is, we're ready to fight out as far as getting the majority of sales for this activity. So we certainly want to encourage businesses if they have not joined the Shop OC Main Street program. We have the tools to get them signed up, even if it's just listing their website. It's just another layer of marketing for our businesses to do that. Any questions, contact our office. Really quick and easy to get signed up. And Roses of Silver Bell, again, uses this program, and they speak very highly of it. They do a lot of sales through that. And so reach out to us. We'd love to get you all signed up. We're working with the community calendar, last couple organizations, so we can get that posted out here shortly. Looking to do that this week. We got our e-newsletters out. Again, we're above open rate on that, 28%. Again, for social media, organically, we've been growing that as well. I encourage people to join onto the Facebook page for the Illuminators as volunteer opportunities come up. We also send that out via Sign Up Genius via our socials as well. And then want to recognize Rise Lounge had the ribbon cutting last week, so thanks to those that came out for that and supported that. And we have another one this week. So we have Twice Blessed coming up this Thursday, again hosted by the Orion Area Chamber of Commerce, and that's going to be at 4:30 this Thursday at Twice Blessed. And certainly invite everybody to come out and support that. And then we also have Cosmetics is doing their soft opening on October 21st. Do you remember the time?
Yes, if I can speak to this one. So, it's my birthday on Saturday. You have to come to downtown Lake Orion, Saturday the 21st at 5 o'clock. Cosmetics. This is, the reason I'm interjecting is a shout out to Chris's department. Cosmetics came in. This is exactly how economic development is supposed to work. That Wayne was moving to his new location. There was a new business in town. They walked across the street to Twice Blessed. Ms. Wayne said, go talk across the street. She said, go talk to the DDA. They came down here. I said, well, wait a minute. Let's go back and look at the space. We walked down and looked at the space, talked to Mark Vizina. Within 3 days, we had a lease for them. They went and met with Chris's staff, with Jennifer, who's unbelievable in the building department, quickly determined that they could move directly into permitting for the build out of the interior. They're pre-inspected and moved in. Boom, this took less than 2 months for them to go from that meeting to their grand opening is on Saturday evening. The greatest thing for all of us, myself included, they're giving away like a $2,800 filler Botox cosmetic thing. So I will be there putting my name in, for myself or others. But mostly, the board needs to understand, when you're doing economic development the right way, there was no corners cut, there was no concessions given, nobody waived anything. They came and asked the right questions, they did the right thing, and when people say yes, and they said, we'll be there tomorrow, look what can happen. Took them less than 2 months to get open. So it's a huge start. So Saturday, 5 o'clock, we're gonna have a great spread at the new business. It's right between Johnny Black's and Sagebrush in the Vizina Law Office building.
That's the old, is that the old Haney,
The old Haney space, yeah. Sorry. I keep
Oh, no,
saying it.
no, I'm glad that you mentioned that. So for Save the Dates, we have our downtown lowdown. Again, it happens every Monday, the fourth Monday of the month, 4 to 5:30. And again, it's a chance for businesses to come forward, have a conversation with us. We provide information. They tell us their successes, challenges. So the next one is happening Monday, March 23rd at the Orion Arts Center. April 27th will be at Michigan by the Bottle. And at the last month's Downtown Lowdown, we actually launched our restaurant roundtable because we know that they have specific needs. And rather to be in a position that we're talking to them event-wise, like, here's what we need you to do, we want to find out what their needs are and what they would like to see event-wise. And again, talk to them about any challenges they have, et cetera. So that was very well attended. Majority of the restaurants did show up, so that was great. And so we do have additional trainees that are coming up. We already talked about the Breakfast Summit and for the Main Street Oakland County. So we had slated one-on-one small business consulting with Donna Bauer, and it's for our hospitality industry. It was originally scheduled for yesterday, and we're like, that's a bit of a challenge as far as day before St. Patty's Day. So that has been moved to April 9th. There are 5 one-hour sessions that our restaurants and hospitality groups can sign up for. Reach out to me, we can get you signed up. There is some pre-work homework that you do prior to that meeting. And again, we've heard great things about it, so we encourage our businesses to sign up for that. May 18th, joint training with the Lake Orion DDA, Oxford DDA, and it's a presentation from the Michigan Retailers Association, Trends for Retailers. June 16th, Oakland Thrive, along with the Chamber, and then Oxford and Lake Orion DDAs, we're doing educational training on brand love in action, how emotion wins hearts and builds loyalty. Some more information coming up on that. And as we get into the fall, another one that we're doing is a joint training, again, with Oxford, small business insurance and preparedness. So again, always trying to find these different resources to get to our businesses. And we are always open to suggestions. If there's a particular topic that our businesses want us to talk about, please let us know. We'll work to secure a speaker on that. Dragon Boats, Oxford is coming to the table. So they've already presented about 6 folks that have already wanted to sign up to be paddlers. They reached out to us, and so we need to start signing people up. So looking over at the Dandelitas group over here, if anybody's interested in joining. Basically, I think we were 2nd place last year. So the taste is in the mouth to become number 1.
Just a quick note to add to that.
Yes.
We are reevaluating how many people we have to have in a boat this year.
Oh.
And shrinking the number, hoping to do more boats.
Okay.
Good idea.
Thank you.
It's like 20, the boat had like 20.
Whose idea was that? I advocated for that a long time.
There was a time the right people were in charge of the boat race, you didn't have that problem.
I heard that.
Last couple things here. So March 20th, 10 to noon, as we talked about, it's almost like hosting a grad party. Les Morrison, again, from the organization committee, has stepped forward and said he would help. We're going to ask if we can have maybe 3 or 4 other people that can help us with outdoor cleanup and a little more moving boxes and files, et cetera, inside the office. So would appreciate some of that help. And then also, we're working with our restaurants. We've sent them the opportunity to participate in our magazine, Detroit Burger Week. It is a tri-county event that they do. And so, again, for restaurants, I know it's a busy time of the year. Busy time with the St. Patty's Day especially. So I'll be reaching back out to those restaurants. We do have one that stepped forward, and we'll see where the other ones fall. And as far as sponsorships, we are pulling together, well, we have it, the Lake Orion Live package. So that will be going out this week, as well as we sat down and kind of went through a beautification sponsorship package, pulling together additional things that we can do on that front as we work with American Bloom. Again, very thankful for Main Street Oakland County covering the cost of half of that participation in that program. And that's my report.
Motion to receive and file.
Support.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Before we go to board comments and training feedback, I just have one quick question. Matt, are we going to be ready for the Art and Flower Fair with all of those electrical issues that we have? Because I know many of the folks really depend on those outlets.
My best guess would be is that we'd be able to have part of it in good shape. There are sections of it that still work pretty good.
Okay.
It won't be all of it. I think the circuits in front of your building work. I think the trip was because they were pushing snow into outlets by our wayfinding sign down by Hanson. So we'll know that for sure. The goal is that. The alternative is, Jen and I have already started talking about it, is the DDA, because we pay all the electric for the entire downtown. So we certainly have the rights and the controls to pull power off of our metering locations. And so we would work with DTE to put some temporary power sources that would be pulled so that we could accommodate that. That's the goal. We just don't want to do it at a huge cost. So we should be good. I think we'll be good. Not all of it will work, but it'll be enough that they can do a good job with their festival.
Okay, I just want them to be able to be successful.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right. Board comments. Ms. Gibb?
I just want to, first of all, welcome Todd to the board. So excited to have you joining us. I know you're going to be absolutely amazing. And it's wonderful to have another fellow downtown business owner here on the board with us as well. And we know about your longstanding commitment to the community, and I know that it's going to serve us all well and serve our entire community well by having you here with us. So thank you for agreeing to step up. I just want to again reiterate and invite everyone out there to the Main Street Open House that Janet did mention earlier, which is March 26th from 4 to 8 p.m. As Matt mentioned, at 6:30, there will be a celebration of our 19 years being accredited as a Main Street community. That is not to be taken lightly. I don't think the community at large truly understands what a huge accomplishment it is to have that accreditation for so many years in a row. So we invite everyone to come out and celebrate with us, but also to come out and find out more about what the DDA is, what we do. We'd love to have you be an illuminator, and we'll give you one of the lovely yellow hats that you can wear. And join us as we continue to work to make our downtown so amazing and our community so amazing. And that's all I'm going to say. Thank you.
Same thing, Todd. Welcome aboard to our team. We have a good ship here. We're looking forward to have we'll welcome your commitment, your time, your talents, and all your connections. Help us, this board, make an even greater board. Yeah, I'm excited about the Main Street open housing as well, because it's gonna, like you said, so many folks don't know what we do. Like, I knew we gave out a lot of money back to the village. I didn't think it's $20 million worth back back to our infrastructure. It's pretty cool that we give back in our unselfish in that way, that we do the right thing with those funds that we do for our stuff because of our excellent board. So I'm appreciative of that. I'm part of being part of that process. I'm looking forward to this winter going away, gone. I walked downtown and tried to get dinner at some, I started late looking for dinner and didn't realize how busy downtown is during St. Patty's Day, so I had to leave 2 establishments, find another one that wasn't quite as busy, so I can get a quick bite. So it was good. So our efforts of economic vitality is working. The restaurants are busy. People having a lot of fun guys walking around downtown with some funny stackers, but it's cool. But I'm looking forward to really summer. I mean, the lake is melted, the ice is gone, that means spring is here. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, well, today we wouldn't know that, but
Spring was here.
by Thursday, we might feel like it's more like spring.
Broken record, but welcome, Todd. Thanks for joining, and excited to have you. Matt and Janet, as always, thanks for your hard work. And, echo some of the things that Chris said, just really encourage everybody to come together and get this lumberyard project moving forward. I'd even call on council to start holding people responsible to start coming to the table and doing these things. And the 1 or 2 council members that are continuing to act inappropriately, I really encourage anything you could do to hold them accountable on your end. And that's all I've got on that.
We're gonna do this welcome Todd thing. Welcome, Todd.
Good to be here.
The meeting yesterday, going through the book, was a really good refresher that I think everybody could actually use. It reminded me of things I once knew and can use again. Secondly, thank you for all your hard work. Keep driving. It's not personal. It's about getting the DDA in the right direction and making sure that we finish. Thanks.
Mr. Garris, would you like to have any comments?
I would like to thank everybody for such an awesome welcoming. I can't, thank you guys enough, girls, ladies. It's an honor. I mean, I really wanted to get involved in our community, and Maddie, thank you for taking a hold of me and saying, hey, let's go. It's an honor to be here. And to be on such a cool board with great people that I've known for a very long time. So I appreciate all the welcomes and everything. And I really look forward to pushing our agendas the right way, in a cohesive manner, the way it should be. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Thank you, guys.
Mr. Burnett?
Nice to meet you. Great choice. Who schedules meetings on St. Patrick's Day? We should be someplace else. My watch is buzzing because it's telling me I'm stressed, and I looked and I am stressed. And I just want to say, thank you to you all. You all have the privilege of doing great things, and I'm very introspective right now. I want to say a couple things, and it's bad because I said I wasn't going to, but I'm almost emotional right now because we have the opportunity to be on the right side of history. And that's not an overstatement. 10 years ago, thanks to Matt Gibb pushing me, we created a corridor improvement authority, and this is absolutely a parallel story. And bear with me for 1 minute. So the corridor improvement authority is Brown Road and Baldwin Road. And I get zero credit because I didn't know what I was doing at the time. I still don't. But had we not acted with cooperation from our consultants and our team members and our board members and our partners, we would still have blight on Brown Road, our border with Auburn Hills. And when we got the money to rebuild Baldwin Road, there were no sidewalks, no street lights, zero landscaping, no fountains and roundabouts, no light poles with no decorative street signs, none of that existed. I wasn't smart enough to figure this out, but our engineering partners, our attorneys, the people that had been here before me, Matt Gibbs, said, what if we created this tax capture that didn't cost one business owner or one resident 1 penny in additional taxes? This year, last year, 2025, our tax capture is paying the debt that we borrowed, $8 million. And we have an award-winning corridor. We built 2 parks, a Dragon and a Heritage Park that just won another award statewide last week at the M-Parks statewide conference. We have sidewalks, we have lights, we have banners that will be recognizing all of our veterans and first responders all this year. We have a fountain and a roundabout, the only one on this side of the Mississippi until about a year ago. We have a walkable corridor. Didn't cost a resident or business owner 1 penny, not 1 penny. And that got done, not because of me, because I'm learning what I'm doing 14 years in. That got done because we had a team that stepped up and said, Jim Stevens from OHM said, you could do this. And Dan Kelly from the Kelly firm said, what if we do this? And we brought people together. And that's where we're at right now. And George, thank you for being here. And you come to our meetings too. You are committed to this community. Thank you. We have the right people. If the people that work in that office stopped working against us and started working for our future, we would get this done. We were going to spend $5 million for 74 parking spots.
True.
And we are going to reinvent our downtown. And we're going to do amazing things in spite of the people pushing against us. But damn it, we could get it done a lot quicker and a lot cheaper if everybody sat at the same table and said, we're going to be on the right side of history for downtown Lake Orion. And I am passionate, and my watch is buzzing because when my heart beats fast, I programmed it to do that. But it's crazy to me that we can't sit at the same table and say, let's save $100,000 and bring businesses to downtown and make it walkable and increase our property values for the existing businesses and the people that live here. Or we can keep doing what we're doing. And I guarantee you, mark my words, put it in the paper, the village manager will be and should be gone if he doesn't start working with us. The people that sit at this dais that work against the progress of this community will be and should be gone. So we're either going to start working together, or the people that don't work for us and with us, and by the way, they work for us. I have 40,000 bosses, you have 3,800. They work, we are their servants and the people that work for them. They pay our bills. So it's a time for an awakening. The people that sit up here and volunteer their time and make $0 are the ones that should get the credit. I'm tired of this. And people need to rise up and be illuminators. And we have a lot of them. And I'm passionate because this stuff matters. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you because you're here. And thank you all. And the people that aren't here, neither get on board or get out. Put it in the paper. And if I'm the one that's wrong, fire me, please. Those are my comments. Thank you.
This evening, I just want to thank everyone's efforts because I believe we have a lot to be proud of. Every time I drive by the lumberyard and I remember what it looked like, and I am so appreciative that the blight is gone. I'm really looking forward to some concerts out there and some green space, and and some additional businesses to elongate our downtown, create some additional anchor businesses down there. So we have so much to look forward to. And I just would like to echo, and I think if you review it, I say this every single time I close, but we're here to be partners. We want to be partners, and we want to work together. And if we can take the synergy of all of us and put it together in a positive mode, there isn't anything that we could not accomplish in this great community because we're surrounded by great people. And so I'm very grateful to be a part of that. Our next meeting is April 21st, 2026. And now could we have a motion for adjournment, please?
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everyone.